Thanks for joining us today for BRMC's Healthy Connections with our guest, Regina Ellis. Regina, tell us what's going on over at the Pikes Cancer Support House.
Oh, lots and lots and lots of things. In fact, we have 44 scheduled events, support groups, classes, and things like that are going on in the month of April.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's more items than there are days in the month. Good for you.
So we've doubled up on a couple of things per day, so that's good. But one of the things that I think, since we have so much going on, sometimes we tend to forget, all of the different support groups and classes and things like that.
It kind of gets lost in the shuffle, and I know we were talking, now there's a caregiver group.
Correct. There's a caregiver support group, and a lot of people tend to not think about that. And the benefit that can be, and what that means, because I think some people get a little confused as to what is a caregiver support group.
Right.
And a caregiver is simply someone that is providing some type of support to the patient.
Right.
So whether that be, physically helping them, and that's what a lot of people think about is that, well, I don't need the caregiver support group because my husband or my wife, they're doing okay. They're able to do things for themselves. I don't have to help them, with activities of daily living or anything like that. And therefore, I don't need the caregiver support group. But it's really much more involved with that. You're dealing with your own special set of emotions that are going on. And the caregivers group at the Pikes House gives you a place to come and first of all, get some information, about cancer, about, how things work, definitions and encouragement, what is chemotherapy and how does that work. We can help with a lot of those basic definitions. We can also help with some of the tips and tricks.
I was going to say, I think that's always key to almost any support group, that those that have already experienced different things, and you may be at a different phase with your loved one, to come and learn those tips and tricks.
Well, exactly.
Crucial.
One of the biggest ones that I was made aware of is that with some of the side effects that are, that you may or may not have, radiation can sometimes cause a metallic taste.
I've heard that
to
from
food.
Folks. Yes.
And so you're like, okay, well, what do I do with that? Well, we've learned that if you will use plastic silverware,
really,
that will help lessen that metallic taste in your mouth.
Rather than
who would have thought?
Yeah. So use plasticware instead of regular
instead
silverware.
Of the metal silverware, and then you can enjoy that meal a little bit better.
Oh my goodness!
Because it helps to decrease that metallic taste. Well, if it wouldn't be from who
it
knew?
was one of those.
That's not written in a book somewhere.
Sure.
Those are the kinds
should
of things that we can
probably
should be. But those are some of the things that you can bring up. Hey, I'm having an issue with this. Does anybody know anything about that? And that's where you get that interaction of, I tried this and it helped, or I tried that and it helped. And of course we're nothing that we ever do is ever against any medical advice.
Right.
So I mean, there may be things that your doctor, decides that in your treatment course, that's not the best thing for you to do, and we always encourage everybody to talk with their doctor. But, sometimes it, just a simple thing like using a plastic fork instead.
Experience is the best teacher of all in many cases like this.
It is.
And,
it is.
Any kind of, not to put you on the spot here, but I'm just thinking of foods. Are there any foods, because you do hear that with many cancer patients, the metallic taste and or complete loss of appetite, or food, they can't taste it any longer.
Right.
Are there any foods out there that are a little bit more?
It's really individualized.
It is.
And that's probably one of the things that we get a lot from our nutrition session that we do. We have a quarterly session we do with Jan Halligan, and she'll set and first of all give you some ideas of things for flavor boosters or not.
That's,
I mean but it can be very individualized, and it really depends upon the person and and what they like and what they don't like, and they may try something that they've never had before and like
their
that.
taste preferences might change.
Oh, exactly.
Through all of this.
Oh, exactly. I remember my father, he was a eggs and bacon and biscuits for breakfast man, all my life.
Yeah.
And when he was going through treatment, he actually ate a banana nut muffin.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's,
Yeah.
what's
Whoa.
going on here?
Yeah.
So, but it tasted good to him, and that's really, at that moment, you've got to find whatever you're able to tolerate and whatever tastes good to you. And what's important is that you're getting calories.
Sure.
So we do a lot of stuff like that. The caregivers group meets twice a month.
Okay.
For an hour. We meet at 1 p.m. on the first and third Mondays.
Easy to remember. First
and third Mondays
at 1.
Real easy to remember. We have a great facilitator for that group, Sherry. She does a wonderful job. She's been there, and that's important as well. She was a caregiver for her husband, and she has a wonderful way of being able to ask questions and make sure that everybody gets answers and knows where they're at and what's going on with them, and if they have a question that they're not afraid to ask it, and that's very important.
Very important, and I'm thinking, I bet she can share too. I always worry about the caregivers because they do sort of get lost in the shuffle of someone's disease.
Right.
And are not always taking very good care of themselves and may actually be exhausted.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And we can plug them into some resources too, because we, I don't know if anybody knows this, but we live in the best community there is.
We know this.
We know this.
We want you to know that.
But we do, I mean, not just the services that are available at the Pites Cancer Support House, but we have so many organizations, throughout the community that are there to provide help.
Yep.
And this is, cancer is not something that you have to go through alone. And, even daily living items, there's lots of help out there.
Lots of resources. And I would probably encourage folks too, see if you agree with this, that when friends offer, what can I do to help? Let them stay with your loved one for an hour or two and go do something really nice for yourself, whatever that may be.
Exactly. You need to take care of yourself first and foremost.
You need some downtime.
Because if you don't recharge, then you're not going to have anything left in the battery to do the next task.
Yeah.
So it is very important. And exactly. Don't be afraid when a friend asks, "What can I do to help?" Get specific. Get specific. And if you need some help with that, we actually have a handout at the Pites House.
Oh, that's great.
That's entitled "Ways You Can Help." So, whether it be, something very simple, such as, taking someone dinner for a night so that they don't have to spend the time and energy of cooking that, but they can still get a nice home cooked meal, or, to setting with the, with the person that is the patient, for a time period to let the caregiver have a break, or, we've just got, it's a list of all kinds of really neat ways that people can help.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid as a caregiver to be, specific. All they can tell you is, well, I can't do that. Is there something else I can do? So it's encouraging, and people, they want to help. Oftentimes they just don't know
what to do or how.
Right.
Sure.
They don't know, what task needs to be done, or how they can assist.
And I bet it goes even more specific. And while you're here with the patient, here are some things he or she still enjoys doing.
Oh, exactly.
If you watch TV together, if you play cards together, if you read a book, something.
And that's just encouragement. And definitely when you're going through something like cancer, you need all the encouragement you can get on both sides. It encourages the giver and it encourages the recipient.
Great things always going on at Pites Cancer Support House.
Yes, it is.
If you would repeat one more time when the caregiver support group is.
The caregiver support group meets in our living room, so it's a very
Which
comfortable,
is a lovely place.
Very comfortable facility, and we are the first and third Mondays at 1 p.m.
Right at the Pites Cancer Support House. And I bet there's even more things going on over at Pites.
Oh,
What
yes.
else is going on?
We've got lots of stuff going on. we have started our Pause for the Cause calendar contest.
What year is this?
This will be our 6th calendar.
Oh my
Can
goodness.
you believe it?
Yes.
Our 6th calendar, although we've thrown a little loop out there for everybody, because usually I'm sitting here telling you that in June, and it's not quite June yet.
You're starting
So
early this year.
We're starting early this year. It was a suggestion that was made, and we thought it was a really great idea, and to go ahead and do it during the springtime and get those pet photos in, and that way also when we do photos in May, we'll have all of the May flowers, you know,
There
because
you
our
go.
April showers
Good
are going to bring
thinking.
May flowers, and so we'll have some lovely backdrops around the Pikes Cancer Support House area to do our 12 pets. And I actually brought some calendar from last year.
Oh, good.
So we had, of course, our cover
That's
cover
Bo.
dog
That's
was
Bo.
Bo last year.
The neighborhood dog.
He was. Bo was a neighborhood dog, and we actually did an article on him as well as to how he got the cover. He was selected because he got the most votes. You know, so, and his owners, which he's owned by a couple of people. He has his regular mom, and then he has several adoptive moms and dads in the neighborhood, and they all went around and collected money from the neighborhood and from their individual families and things like that. And so he got the most votes, and we made Bo the cover, and we did a nice little article on the inside, you know, about Bo, and so that's on there as well. And so, you know, we did that, and it was a very, very fun project, and that was something we did different, and that was the new thing for last year. But just to give you an idea of some of the pets that won for this past year, we've got Lois, is her dog Raina.
Raina.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was January. And so as you can see, you know, we had some great outdoor shots.
Great variety. We have a wonderful photographer. She just puts her heart in. Now,
Oh, she does.
Sassy was interesting to take a photo of.
She was, and she has a very interesting story. And that was another thing that we did differently this year, is we included a little bit of a story or a quote from Mom and Dad. And
now, Sassy
we
came
told,
from Afghanistan.
Yes, she was a rescue cat from Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So.
And it was quite the story to get Sassy into this country.
Yes, definitely so. So, you know, it's a great project. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great fundraiser for the Pikes Cancer Support House. And in fact, it's our largest fundraiser of the year. We are 100% locally funded. And so that's always, you know, very, very interesting to think about, that we can provide these services just from the funds that are available in our own community.
Well, our generous giving community, you bet. We need to take a short commercial break.
Sure.
But we will be right back. Don't go away. We're going to talk to you more about Pause for the Cause, the fundraiser for the Pikes Cancer Support House. So just give us a second. We'll be right back.